Welcome to this podcast, episode 1. Yes, you heard that. This is episode 1. You see the title on the screen, Success Kings, where we talk about everything that influence success, even failures. I'm Sal, I'm your host. And just to give you a bit of my background, I've been in multiple different businesses most of my life. I've talked to a lot of successful people, many of which I hope to get onto this podcast so that you guys can benefit, my viewers can benefit from listening to that and implementing that content in their daily lives and businesses. Currently, I manage and own a home services company called Service All Stars Heating and Air. It was very hard to come up with a first topic, so I'm going to really just generalize here and come up with a question and answer session where some of my friends had submitted questions that they wanted me to answer. And so we'll get right to it. I'm going to go ahead and talk about the first question. What are some business challenges or situations that someone will encounter when implementing a startup? Real interesting question. I think the scope of it is broad, but let me see what I can do to help you guys out. I would start with the formation of the company. Make sure that you have your partnership agreements correct. If you're doing it with another person, make sure all your legalities, your disclosures are in place. Make sure that you're incorporated the right way. You want to make sure that, for tax purposes, if you need to be a LLC or a C Corp or a S Corp, depending on what state you're doing business in, that's the actual state that is going to determine what's best for you. Like in Texas, they don't have income tax, so an S Corp is good out there. For California, maybe a LLC or a C Corp, but that's something that you might want to explore with a CPA and getting you set up the right way so you get off on the right foot. Now, some other things may be also branding, marketing, hiring. Always hire right. Don't hire for quantity, hire for quality. Make sure that the people you're hiring understand your vision of the business that you are trying to organize and form. Make sure they're in line with that. Make sure that they are people of good reputation, that they care about the place they work. Check references. Always check references. It'll lower your turnover rate. It'll lower a lot of things for you, inefficiencies in the business as well. If you hire for quantity, you're going to be in a situation where you're going to have high turnover before, because you're searching for that right person. As far as hiring is concerned, you want to take baby steps. And what I mean by that is that, you may have a guy that can generate $3 million in revenue for your business as opposed to another guy that may only generate $2 million. But the $2 million guy might have a better vision of your company and what you're trying to achieve compared to the $3 million guy. And therefore, it might be a better choice for you to go with somebody that can only generate $2 million, but he has a great reputation, great sense of culture, great sense of the vision that your company is trying to implement. Branding. I think that for a startup to take flight, branding is very important. Don't get involved in branding late in the game. Brand your business ASAP. I think that's a very, very monumental mistake that a lot of business owners do. I know that I've crossed that bridge too, where we don't really focus on building a brand. We focus on building an operation, building revenue. That can all come back and bite you, where you don't want to be bit. But, if you want to go from here to here, definitely in the quickest way, quickest amount of time, branding is definitely key. So a lot of people, they focus on getting to, they want to get from here to here. I think you need to really be efficient in that, but you also, you don't want to take too much time. You want to definitely compress time, but the beginning may be slow, and that's okay. That's okay, because once you start moving, the movement will be a lot quicker. And next thing you know it, your company may be generating $10 million plus. I hope that helps you guys out. How does the next question is how to start effective marketing for your business. A lot of people look at digital marketing as the end of all ends, but it's really not. I mean, it's all about how you um, implement it. And a lot of people think, hey, I can just hire this marketing agency and I'll sign a contract, I'll send them 5, 10, $15,000, I'll pay their monthly bill, and my company is going to take off. It doesn't work that way. Unfortunately, it really doesn't work that way. I don't care which marketing agency you go out there and hire. The business owner or the representative of the business has to have a heavy hand inside of the marketing, especially if you're just starting out. And what I mean by that is that the marketing agencies are really there just to facilitate, your marketing, right? To go on Google, manage the Google PPC, Bing, or a billboard or anything, but the drive or the push has to come internally from the business. And there's other things that may need to be done in regards to pushing that brand or pushing that business to the next level. It could be, going out and doing meet and greets, hooking up with your local chamber of commerce, maybe holding a luncheon for different businesses around the area, really getting involved in the community. And that can kind of spearhead your brand and brand awareness for your business. But I think just going, and that's I think what makes marketing effective, because it's that and this combined together that really allow a business to take off. And there's a lot of case studies that you guys can look up on that with other larger corporations in place. I mean, yes, things like capital do help, right? I mean, you do need capital to market. You can't, and I think that's something that going into a business, the business owner has to understand is, well, how much capital, right? How much am I going to really need to go from here to here in the business that I'm trying to do? Now, everybody has different goals in mind. I mean, some people are happy with, staying small. Do I think that's okay? I don't think so. I don't think it's okay for any business to really stay small. I think every business has in the capitalistic model of business, the business has to continue to exhibit growth. If it doesn't, it's dying. And I think you need an exit strategy when you're starting off in business. I know we're going back to the first question now, and we're veering off from the marketing. But just to add to that, I would like to say that for every person going into a business, make sure you have an exit strategy. That is one of the challenges, because what you're going to eventually want to do is take whatever you've grown and cash it in, whether it's for your retirement or to grow the business even further than where it's at. But there has to be an exit strategy, right? I mean, the market, what we're essentially doing is that we are capturing the market space, and then we're either turning that over to maybe a larger entity, that market that we've captured, and plug it into that larger entity. Or what we're doing is we're passing it off into new ownership that may come in and recapitalize the business and grow that market share that we've already captured. And that's essentially what every single business out there is doing. I don't care if it's mom and pop, or if it's or should be doing, or if it's a company traded on the Nasdaq or the stock exchange. So the next question here is, how do you build a sales team, and when do you start with that, or where do you start with that? Another question that is very fundamental to the beginnings and growth of a business. Sales teams are built by the culture of the company, having sales in mind from the front end to the back end, customer facing and non-customer facing personnel as well. It's all a mindset thing. Every day you open up your shop, open up your business, you're there to sell. Your employees have to know that, and they have to exhibit that type of drive and push for the success of the business. Everything that's being said within the business has to point in that direction. Training is monumental. I mean, I'm just, after being in business so many years, understanding that training is so foundational to sustaining and growing a business. You cannot grow a business without training, sales training. If you're going to start in something, I would definitely recommend hiring a coach. Coaches are there for the purpose of helping you out and guiding you to where you want to be. And I mean, coaches, some do not charge much and some charge a whole lot. And my recommendation would be to hire a coach that has a great track record that can guide you in implementing some of these things that we're talking about, and make sure that they are on a very high caliber, because who you associate with is who is going to make or break your business. And that's what it really comes down to. So where do you start with your sales team? Hire people that have a track record in sales, right? You want to check their what they have been doing. I mean, how long have you been in sales? Now, what I found is that a lot of people say they're sales guys, but really they're just order takers. They're just out there taking orders from different clients. And what I'm doing, I mean, I think is really intense, sales motivated, but also it's a sale that is technical, and it requires advanced skills. Make sure that you either hire somebody with advanced skills in sales, or that you're able to give them that. Now, for a business starting out, let's face it, if you can grab a salesperson that is, possessing advanced skills, I mean, I hope you can. But have I found that in my tenure in business? I don't believe so. I think that for us, it was a lot of training involved to keep acquiring those advanced skills. I think in a tougher economy, kind of what the climate right now is with the economy, you do need those salespeople that have advanced skills. I don't think basic skills, because a sales guy with basic skills, he's going to be, a very price-driven salesperson. And I think that that's kind of counterintuitive to what the business is trying to do. So if you can grab a sales guy or train a sales guy and give him those advanced skills, it's going to be easier for him to facilitate that that in the field, and the business will greatly benefit from this type of person. The next question is an interesting question. How do you narrow your service scope to those services which are profitable for the company? I'm going to answer this question from a very, very different perspective and angle. Maybe you have heard an answer like this before, I'm not sure. But you want to really narrow your scope of services down to where it's beneficial to your clients. And what I mean by that is that your service, what you're offering, has to be about the client. The client it has to be all about them. And if those services are purchased by the client, that's where the company is going to find its greatest success and the greatest amount of profit. You can go and sell somebody anything, and it might not really help them, right? It might not really be beneficial for them. I mean, how many of us have bought services that we were like, man, why did I buy that? Or why did I do this? Or why did I do that? Because those whoever had sold you those services or that product, it was never ever about the client. It was about themselves. It was about the company. And so who profited in that was, yes, the company profited in that. Maybe that company is still around, maybe it's not, right? But I think that if you narrow your scope down to, hey, these are the services that help our clients the most. This is all about them. You detach your service actually from the any type of sale. So what I mean, or the outcome of a sale. And so what I mean by that is that you want to first start off, if you're interfacing first time with a client, you want to say, hey, let me look into your situation. Let me see what your problem is, because I may or may not be able to help you. Instead of being, oh yeah, we could help everybody, we could help anybody, and then you're really just there for what, right? Just to gain their business, just to gain a transaction, just to put some money in your pocket, and then try to move forward from there. But what kind of reputation are you really gaining by doing that? And so that needs to be kind of questioned. So I think when you look at the scope of your services, look at it from the perspective of, hey, we're going to go and provide this service. What type of reputation is the company going to gain from providing this service? Because it may not get you the right reputation. And it might get you dollars, but not the right reputation, and that can be problematic in the future and the growth of the company. Whereas if you're going case by case point in, hey, okay, this is a client or a prospect, this is their problem, and I'm going to look into their problem, and I'm going to give them honest feedback. Hey, I can help you, or I can't help you. If I can't help you, then I'll go ahead and refer you to somebody who can. And people really appreciate that honesty, and they look at your company always in a good light, and not in the light of, well, this guy, he's just out here trying to gain a sale. And that goes back to what I was saying before, that you are more focused on the client than on yourself and your business. And I think that's what really drives a successful business. The next question is, they want me to discuss some of the failures that I've come across in my years of business. That list could be, as long as the Empire State Building. But to talk about some of the failures, I think we've had definite failures in marketing, branding, hiring. I think all aspects. Accounting was very major for us. We had an accountant that was helping us in organizing our books, and me being me and not professional accountant, I really trusted this person in what they were saying and doing, only for 2 years later there's somebody to come in, audit my books, and tell me, hey, Sal, this person is not doing the right job. And that was very disastrous for us, because apparently if that person did not step in and look at the books, we were probably headed for bankruptcy. And so I would really understand what accounting is, how it's supposed to be performed for your business, and hire somebody that really understands your business and the accounting of your business. I would hire multiple accountants, hire multiple people. One for payables, one for your receivables. I know it's very hard for a small business to invest in that, but a lot of business owners, they come in and they want to invest just in sales and marketing, but they neglect the other two sides. Or some might even invest in the operations of the business, right? So they might have invested in marketing, invested in sales, invested in operations, but they neglect accounting. And, if you're not bringing up all three parts of your business the same time, meaning you're not bringing up the sales, marketing, the operations, and the accounting all at the same time, your business is really facing lopsidedness, and that can be detrimental in the growth of your business as well. Accounting is crucial, when you're trying to go out there, get loans for your business, investorship, so on and so forth. You need to have a good set of accounting books. So that was a very pivotal moment in our business when we discovered that we had to change around our accounting principles and fire that accountant and then bring in new help. Right now, I think we have it under control. We're still a work in progress with the accounting, but we're better than where we were 2 years ago. The other thing, hiring, right? We failed a lot at hiring. I think we've hired and fired over 400, maybe even 500 people in the last 10 years. So when you equate that, that's a lot of turnover. That's a lot of dollars wasted in hiring and training. And you think it's just, oh well, I got rid of this guy or hired this guy. No, it takes a lot of time, energy, money movement to onboard a new hire. So going back to one of the questions I just answered, make sure you're hiring right. Vet them out, fully vet them out. If you don't have a person for the job, you just don't have a person for the job. Don't shortchange, because if you cut corners there, those people you hire and bring in, they're going to cut corners on the job as well, and you're going to sacrifice the quality of your business. And that's really all I got for this first episode. I hope that I gave you guys some key insight into the business world, which I love being part of. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the link below, and see you on the next one.